So TopSpin 2k25, the deluxe version has been out for a couple of days now, and we are getting very close to the pre-order for the Xbox One version, for the standard. So if we was to look at all of these versions, obviously you've got the normal version and the XS, that is going to be £60 or 65. If then you wanted to go up to the deluxe, you obviously get the Rookie Rise pack, and that's going to be an addition of £90. Now, if you are going for the Grand Slam edition, you are looking at £105,000. Now, is it worth it? So you get the Xbox Series S, you get all access to cosmetic packs, you get obviously it on the Xbox One and just on the XS as well, Premium Center Court Pass Season 1. Just remember Season 1. You then get Rookie Rise Pack and All Access Pack. So you get pretty much the bog standard of everything. Now, is this game worth it? That's the kind of biggest question. Now, to start with, you've got the Center Court Pass. Fantastic, you get one kind of season into it and you get a decent amount of items. But there is 6 seasons at the moment here. Obviously, it's only 1 at the moment, but you've got 6 to go, meaning you're not going to get the other 5. I think for £105, that's a bit absurd at times. I just think in terms of this game cycle, it's going to be no longer than Season 2, like surely. So in terms of what you get a decent amount of premium stuff, and to be honest, it's like I say, it's a lot of cosmetic stuff. You get a few different titles, VC bonuses, but realistically, nothing that I'm going to be like craving over. So then we've got the game being a bit early. Fair enough, that's always what people want. If you are a massive fan of 2K, a massive fan of tennis, and you are desperate to be able to try and do it, then obviously that's going to be more worth it for you to some extent. Because obviously if you wanted to play it, then yes, you're going to have a bit more value to put onto it. Now in terms of the game itself then, so straight off the bat, almost just very small. The game doesn't feel like they've really put too much into it because you've got the home, you've got local play, you've got online. They are the 3 sections on the main. Now, I understand that the game's not going to be massive. It is tennis. It is very specific. Like they can't be hundreds of game modes, loads of different tabs, because realistically, there's only a fair few kind of things that you can actually do, to be honest. So straight off the bat, when you're playing this game, you'll go to the TopSpin Academy. I think they did that pretty well. It does give you all of the basics in advance pretty early on. I'd say they did that really well. Then when you look at the kind of menu side of stuff, when we go into like exhibition, it's again very, I don't know, it just seems very wasteful. Like we see the singles and doubles here, and I get there's probably not much more you can put onto it, but I mean, it's just a lot of space for such a small court. Then we obviously have the menu action for picking the players, or picking the tennis players. I think that's fine. I quite like it. It's very, I wouldn't say Street Fighter-esque, but you've got that same sort of vibe. Like you get to pick here, then obviously you go and pick here. That's absolutely fine. Difficulty-wise, I feel like they give you a good selection. Obviously, very easy, normal, hard, very hard, expert, and legends. Legend and expert being required to unlock. It's fair enough. Obviously, when you go into player details, you can see a brief kind of detail list there. You can obviously cycle the outfits as well, and you can obviously just click the randomizer if you really wanted to, and you can stop like that. Okay, I'm on board with that. So then we look at something like the creator player. That again is pretty standard. Like there's not too much difference. You've got a lot of different options that you can go for. You can obviously do male and female, and you can also have multiple characters. I think that is perfect. So when you go into it, you've obviously got the 2 that you can do. You can obviously joint do both of them. You can do 2 careers, and you can pick whatever you want. You have the default to start with, and then you kind of go through and add all of your stuff as you go through just the normal transformation of a character. That's absolutely fine. There's a great amount of option. You've got loads of customability with this, so I would say that's as standard as you like with the games. And I think the problem is now is, especially from my point of view, starting very early on in gaming, the expectation now is criminal. Like it is crazy high, and that is just from games progressing each year. So when a game doesn't reach that expectation, or maybe the price point's not there, there's some missing features, that then really puts in a bit of a sting, and straight away the game is almost never rated as high as it can be. There's going to be different kind of almost like acceptances through this, and I think tennis most definitely has a definite stigma, kind of like, and I kind of refer to it like rugby and cricket, to be honest. They kind of made games with it. With TopSpin, it was 13 years ago. I think it was like TopSpin 14 or 4. I can't remember what it was now. But you had it so many years ago that now it's kind of like, well, if it's not been a game that's been produced for that long, what's the reasons for that? There seems to be always a reason why a game. Is it just purely financial? And now they're thinking they can kind of go and maybe get some microtransactions for it, because realistically that is what games do for. And I must admit as well, the deluxe edition being £104, I don't understand where the value for that really is. So obviously, like games, you can spend the currency. I really don't understand why there is an ability to spend £90 on 16,000 VC, regardless how many outfits can you truly wear. Like, I don't understand why we would need 16,000. There's a lot of items here. You obviously can go and buy the boosts as well. So obviously season 1 is technically £9. So that means every other season is going to be £9 as well, I can imagine. Or you can go for the premium and spend £33 on getting all of the 6 seasons. Again, that should definitely be covered in the deluxe edition. I don't understand why that isn't. You go buy match boosts if you really wanted to. Again, I just don't understand why there's 16,000. It makes zero sense that you're getting that within the game as well, but then also the ability to buy them. It screams microtransaction. And then obviously the only other place really that you can put VC other than hiring managers, which is like a couple of hundred at best, like 75 for the level 2. You can rehire once you've done them. That's not going to cost you that much. The only other thing you can do is reset or reassign your skill points. So that's going to be 2,700. It's a hefty cost, but I mean, 2,700 is hard. Like, I've hardly played the game for dedicated hours and I've already got 4,000. So again, that just screams to me that it is just very, very much money grabbing. And also when you've got your season 1 pass, like my outfit is fully legendary already. It makes no difference whatsoever, but I'm quite happy with the night clothes that I've got. I don't know why I've got this little sock on, but I mean, it's just, I don't understand why there's so much around the pro shop. I can kind of understand with it with the golf game they did with 2K Golf, because you've got a lot of things. You could change the balls, the outfits you can change, which again is very cosmetic and I'm not too fussed. But then you've got clubs that have different stat points. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think rackets actually change anything for you. So that already I'm thinking, well, what is the point in them, to be honest? You might as well just stick with your standard then. So rackets, yeah, we've got literally just normal everything. So there is actually no difference in anything there. So that, again, is pretty much rendered irrelevant. Now, one big, absolutely huge point that I kind of went through and thought I was either being stupid or it's really, really bad on the game. So online, you've got the World Tour. Love it. Obviously, it's good. You can play online tournaments with your player. You have then an online exhibition, which is almost friendlies with a pro or your player as well. Predominantly, you're going to have to choose a pro, as not many people are going to use my player. And then you have the 2K Tour. So I was like, okay, well, that's pretty good modes. We've got a few onlines. Obviously, you can't play doubles online, so there can't be 4 players, unfortunately. So you can only play singles online. I don't understand why. But then I was thinking, how on earth do I play against my friend? Let's say we both got this. We just want to have a couple of games. You want to either have a bit of fun with it. Maybe you want to like kind of test up some randomized games. Apparently, you're not going to get that until they update it fully. I don't get a game that is 2K as well. Like, it's not as if this is a company that doesn't have the capabilities of online matches. How on earth are you going to bring a game out that predominantly would be based around playing with your friends? There's only so many opponents that I want to come up against. I kind of want to have a bit of fun with it. And you can't. You go into the online exhibition, takes you straight to the menu and you search. So you can't do it there. Obviously with the tournaments, they're not going to let you pick your friends with that because they don't want you going through the tournament playing your friends. It's fair enough. 2K Tour, it's ranked matches. So again, you can't rank up with your friends. So the only place would have been online exhibition, which you can't add anybody. And apparently we're not going to get that until end of May at the minimum. I really think that is very, very poor. To say that you're spending £104 on a deluxe edition to then not get the ability to play online versus your friends. And there is only one way that you can actually play another person, and that is local play. Now, this is literally you have to be in the same room. Local play is obviously same Xbox, same PlayStation, what have you, whereas online would obviously be your Xbox versus their Xbox, PlayStation, wherever. So already I'm like, okay, so what if I don't live with them? So they're literally, you cannot play online against your friends until that update happens, if it happens. So that was a big stinker of it. So really, the only things you can do is the World Tour, online exhibition if you really wanted to. You can do some ranks with online, which is fine. And then you have the My Career. Now the My Career, very basic. And to be honest, I can understand it. It's not as if it needed to be this crazy song and dance, but I felt like we should be able to kind of mold this career a little bit more with the fact that every single month it is training, special event, tournament. You can skip some, but that is it for every single one. You just keep doing that every single time. And I get it. And this is where I think tennis games does fall back, because there isn't too much to do with it. There's very little where I'm like, okay, this could be really interesting, because it is just the same every single time. And obviously, as you kind of go up the ranks, you do get better tournaments or high stake tournaments. Maybe you're looking at a bit more XP or VC, but realistically, it's the same thing every single time. And we always have this argument. I could say the exact same for FIFA, which is my game. You're just playing a football match every single time. But I think with an ultimate team or some sort of journey that you're doing where you're kind of getting something back with the career mode, it's single player. I kind of want to be able to do like an online league tournament. Maybe that would be really good. I don't necessarily want to do tournaments every single time, but if I wanted to do a league structure against a load of friends, that would be really cool as well. I can't play doubles against my friends. So say we've got 4 of us, you want to mess around, you can't even play doubles online just with anybody, let alone having friends being able to do it as well. So it's one of them games that I'm thinking, it's a good start. Like, it's the playability of it is fine. Like, in terms of actually playing the game, I can't fault it really. It does what it says. It is just a tennis game, and I think the shots do well, the reaction's nice, obviously the serving's good. Everything in terms of gameplay, I can't really fault. I think it definitely works as good as it should, but it's kind of them other settings where I'm just like, why does it feel slightly rushed and slightly very monetized? Like, you are spending, if you're doing for the deluxe, you're spending £105. I don't think I could justify that. In my opinion, I don't think that that's plausible in any sense. 65, I think at this point in the kind of gaming industry, I think that's fair enough. Like, the gaming industry is very much on £50 to £60 for pretty much most games. So I can't say that that's not worth it, especially with the kind of names that they've got in here. That's fair enough. But 104 for a deluxe edition to get it maybe a couple of days early. You get a season pass, which is just totally cosmetics with a few extra XP bonuses. And really nothing else. Like, you can't play your friends. You can play the career mode, which I think can be very static at times, and if you are a big tennis head, you might really enjoy it. You might want to challenge yourself on higher difficulties. That is fair enough, but in terms of what we can actually get from the game, I just don't think it's got enough legs to really warrant £105. And there has been some games that have been even worse. I just think with this one, it just falls that little bit short, in my opinion, especially for that sort of cost. It just doesn't warrant that, in my opinion. So let me know down below if you agree, disagree. Is there any points that you'd like to add? I'm all here for it. Leave it in the comments, and I'll catch you for the next one. Peace.